What we're trying to do this time around is to use the Nigerian Media Code of Election Coverage as a tool of engagement with the regulatory agencies, with the political parties, with the government itself, and in fact the different management of those media organizations, to let them understand that it enhances their credibility when they give space to other political parties. As a matter of fact, the Electoral Act mandates the media, especially government-owned media, to give what it calls, equal opportunity for all the political parties to talk about their programs. And it's actually an offense when you don't do that. There's a sanction for that. And that sanction includes a possible fine of that session and even possible fine of the editors. So I guess what we need to do, and what we'll be doing, is to have a lot of awareness creation, much more engagement, educating all the stakeholders on the responsibilities that they have. I feel that that is very, very important. This time around was to have a multimedia stakeholder buy-in for credible reporting of elections in terms of its fairness, in terms of its access, in terms of its inclusive focus, and in terms of holding leaders accountable. On this basis, unlike in 2015, when just 8 media organizations came together and endorsed the Nigerian Media Code of Election Coverage, in 2018, under the EU-SDGN, we were able to bring together all the umbrella media organizations in the media, and as a matter of fact, over 300 individual media houses that endorsed and subscribed to the Nigerian Media Code of Election Coverage, which was a statement of commitment to provide credible information so that citizens can make informed choices in the electoral process. I thought that that was monumental. Monumental also was the fact that we engaged with one of the key stakeholders in the electoral process, the National Broadcasting Commission, because it regulates the broadcast media. And you cannot underestimate the impact and effect that the broadcast media have on populations when it comes to elections. The radio and television reach millions of audiences simultaneously. And what we sought to achieve there was for that regulatory body to understand its functions under the legislation. And the engagement led to a process where the National Assembly, for example, has to begin the review of the laws establishing these institutions. These, for me, would be some of the key takeaways or the outputs or achievements that we can speak of when we're looking at the interventions that we made. And of course, we are able to say that the result that we saw was the fact that, unlike before, the media was actually more professional. And in one particular area, just to make this final point, was the fact that, unlike in 2015, when we had limited audience when it comes to the exposure for the candidates, the presidential candidates, for example, most political debates were limited to 2 or 3. But in 2019, broadcast media organizations and many others organized debates and exposed the candidates to audiences, not just at the national level, but in the various states.